everybody hear me? I don't really like to talk with the microphone. Okay. So, as Mike just mentioned, and thank you for having me, I'm Marty McNair. I'm the father and the founder of the Jordan McNair Foundation. So, as he mentioned, a lot of you all probably heard our story. If you're in the world of high school football and college football, I'm sure unless you were living under a rock, you probably heard our story. Jordan was a sophomore at the University of Maryland. Sophomore year, very first day of conditioning drills, had a heat stroke, and basically we literally went from a healthy kid Tuesday morning to an emergency liver transplant Friday morning, with 85% of Jordan's liver being in necrosis. So for those of you all that don't know what necrosis means, basically what that means is 85% of his liver was dead. So again, as a parent, imagine one of the things I had to realize was what happened between Tuesday and Friday, and also everything that went along with a liver transplant, the life expectancy of a liver and things like that. But as a father, one of the things that I kept asking myself was, what did I miss? And one of the things that I missed was, because as every parent in America, I asked two questions. And my two questions was, can he play? And the average question most parents usually ask all the coaches in the room, why aren't they playing? I never thought of the laundry list of questions that should be asked prior to your safety, your student athlete safety at any level of competition, from AAU and definitely up to the collegiate level in a sense. So at this particular time, just these 2 weeks that Jordan was fighting for his life in the hospital was an extremely challenging time, the hardest time in 19 years, because he was a guy that had never been in the hospital a day in his life. But the interesting thing is, I just want everybody to know that what we did was, our foundation, we do a lot of work, a lot of legislation getting passed. Somebody just asked a question about legislation over here of the doctor. That's something that we're very experienced in. We've gotten 4 laws passed in the state of Maryland around student athlete safety, from the AAU level all the way up to the collegiate level. But again, the night's not my night. Basically, I just wanted to introduce myself to everybody. And again, we're doing the training tomorrow, so I don't know where I'm at on the schedule tomorrow, but what we did was we came up with a training called the X's and O's of player safety. And what this really talks about is really how to keep your student athletes safe on the field and off the field as well. And most importantly, as a coach, how to protect yourself, and what we like to do, like to call risk mitigation. Because again, I think as coaches, you all need to know a little bit about everything. And I know the state of Pennsylvania basically has athletic trainers, and that word mandated is very significant when it comes to that. However, but what are you going to do if you only have one athletic trainer and you got 10 games going on that day? So that even assures that, or that really speaks to the fact that everybody in the room needs to be educated on something. Our main focus is heat-related injuries. As a parent, I had no clue what a heat stroke was, definitely not how severe a heat stroke could be. At that particular time, I didn't know any type of statistics or anything like that. But if you come to my class tomorrow, come to our session tomorrow, you'll get a wealth of information, and I guarantee you, you'll be a lot more educated on heat-related injuries, cardiac arrest, concussions, sickle cell, because blood is another thing. But most importantly, you'll know the magnitude of an emergency action plan. What we saw in the NFL was a well-exercised emergency action plan. Doc just said it. Those 3 to 4 minutes that it took, 3 to 4 minutes can save a life. And obviously, it doesn't go that way, unfortunately, in the real world a lot of times. So, if I see you tomorrow, I'd love to see you come to my class tomorrow. But one of the main things in regards to tonight's speaker, when Jordan first passed in 2018, Mike, my brother and friend, would always shoot me a text message every morning. He'd shoot me a prayer every morning, because unfortunately, we're part of an organization or fraternity nobody wants to be a part of. Unfortunately, Locksley lost his son Miko a year before, so I didn't have anybody that really could tell me, you're going to feel this way or you're going to experience this. And basically, this was somebody that I had to lean on every day. So a lot of people, when they see our relationship, they always think it's about football. And rest assured, I do not know enough about football to even discuss football with this man. So our relationship has grown to be life monuments in life, serious times in life, milestones in life. A lot of cigars we've smoked together along the way. You know, and again, our families just are really, we're family in a sense, just because of, hey, you know, what we've experienced and what we do share with one another. So again, our relationship isn't about football, but to introduce him, I'm gonna tell you 3 things that are kind of funny, right? I remember sitting in Locke's office one day, and the defensive coordinator came in, and he rattled some stuff off to him. And then the offensive coordinator came in, and he wanted his input on something like that. I don't even know if you remember that day. And he rattled some stuff off again at him, and I'm just over here like in amazement, because I'm like, bro, you know this much about the game? He like, bro, this is what I do. I'm confident in what I do. Another time, most people, when Locke took the job at Maryland, everybody from Baltimore, I'm from Baltimore, everybody wanted me to explain his football strategy, and especially when it came to recruiting. I'm like, I can't tell you because we don't have that type of relationship. And another thing, in conclusion, is you got to be really, really confident in yourself when you're around this guy, right? Because we can be out in public and people will come up to him and they'll tell me like, hey, my man, can you take this picture of us? And I'm saying, wait a minute, what about me? What am I, chop suey over here? So I'd like to introduce my brother, my friend, this year's recipient of the Ted Ginn Senior Award, Coach Mike Locksley.
So first of all, you guys got to understand this relationship. You know, he kind of got into it. I lost my son in 2017 to gun violence. I was coaching at Alabama, get the knock at the door at 2 in the morning. I had a son murdered. And the worst fraternity to be in is a parent that buries a child, because the circle of life isn't meant for parents to bury children. And I started the recruiting process on Jordan prior to leaving to go to Alabama. And so my daughter went to high school with Jordan. My daughter played soccer at Auburn. I don't know how that happened. I coached at Alabama. She played soccer at Auburn. But her and Jordan were classmates. And so as I was healing and I saw what happened to Jordan, I'm going to just tell you guys this. What Doc just talked about and what Marty's going to talk about tomorrow, don't take it for granted. I'm serious. Don't take it for granted. And Jordan was a martyr for us at Maryland. He died, and because of his death, right now we're probably one of the most safe places a player can play collegiate football because of having to go through that. You don't want to be that team that has to go through that. And I promise you this, I would not have taken the University of Maryland football coaching job. I had a great job at Alabama as an offensive coordinator. I had a great opportunity to stay there and probably could have made as much money as I made being a head coach. And I remember Marty calling me saying, Locks, would you want this job? And I said, you know what, Jordan? I said, you know what, Marty? I want no parts of it because I don't think, there's no way somebody's going to send their parent to come play at the University of Maryland because of what just happened to your son. He says, well, what if you and I stand together and as we correct the mistakes that took place, it'll become the safest place in America to play football. And because of that, our trainers, our doctors fly all over the country with this action plan that I saw Doc talk about Georgia having. Marty and and Tanya, Jordan's mom, were responsible for that. And so, not to get too deep into it, because tomorrow he'll be able to have some great information. But what I'll share with you guys is this: do not take it for granted, and it's on us as coaches. We're everything. All right, we're the doctor, we're the teacher, we're the dad, we're the mom, and if you just can educate yourself just a little bit on how to save a life, it means a lot. And you saw that happen, what happened with the Buffalo Bill player. So, not to steal his thunder, I appreciate Marty and the brotherhood that we shared. We would not have been able to get the Maryland football program off the ground if it wasn't for a partnership with him and Tanya, the foundation. I'm part of the foundation. My wife is on it. And really appreciative of him introducing me tonight.